of guy.
Doug Hawley in the Mountain Dew green one, 125.962 as he just gets underway. We had him not even having posted a lap just yet. Severiano Espinoza,
Okay, guys, we seem to be live now.
763 in that Simpit logo, FANATEC combo, Mazda. Thank you.
Yes, so much things in here. You have to excuse me a little bit.
And I know we skipped over because he jumped up on the board when we were going through the people. There's John Hill in that Ferrari. That is one funky looking Ferrari right there. Typical to John Hill. You'll very often find him in some kind of Ferrari turned something in iRacing. He does that a lot in like the Formula 79. He likes to find some of those other paint schemes that don't necessarily belong on the car. And I think if you know John Hill, that would make total sense. And he's running a 122.401 prior to coming to the line right here as practice is almost completed. Oh, there it is. It's over. We're not even going to see that lap time.
I believe you're supposed to be live now. You should be able to hear me.
And put it to good use, and we'll just kind of stay on top of the action to see how this grid sorts out. And it looks like we're up to certainly over 20 drivers at this point, and we'll be able to see how they're all doing. So we'll start off with John Hill. It looks like he's the first one on track.
I'm not sure what's going on with my live stream, but
lap race.
And these guys are going to have to be very careful of that turn one entering into the infield, because that can really, sometimes they can oversteer and hit the wall, or understeer and again hit the wall. So they're going to have to get their mark on just right so they don't hit that wall.
It's funny you say that, Josh, because I think that spot
all right, it's time for qualifying.
The biggest wreck in all of motorsports.
Yeah, that's why they did redo the road course.
Excuse me, one minute, guys.
And it often leads to multi-car crashes if that car happens to bounce back into the racetrack.
Yeah, I seen there's like videos on YouTube where you know, the guys coming to turn one, guys coming off a pit road, and they both just smack into that wall. I'm like,
here's John Hill as he heads into that turn one section. He takes a nice inside line. Plenty of room out there on the wall, and need to start learning who's who. Who's that right behind John Hill? That's Grant Henderson in the Bumblebee. That's right, Grant Henderson in the Bumblebee right behind. Getting a good draft on John. That's going to help him out.
We should be live. Problem is, it seems as though my stream is not as strong as I would like for some reason. I don't know why, but I really don't know why.
I also want to say that the curbing on the infield road course isn't actually curbing like you expect on the other road courses. It's actually dirt, which are hungry for your safety rating.
Yeah,
anyway, let's go with it.
For car control either.
No, doesn't help you at all.
So Stand On It's picking Brandon Waters for the win. Anybody taking that bet? Bets are going on in the chat, and I encourage it, but just remember the house gets 10%. So make sure you send your 10% in on your winners and your losers. The house always wins. Frown upon the culprit, Al says. Too funny. To the inside, we see Grant going inside of John Hill into turn one. Gonna be a little tight turning from there. Is he gonna keep it in? And he does, but I think he lost a little speed, and John Hill comes right back. That is not gonna help either of their qualifying efforts.
It's not. That was almost a smack into the wall there.
Right now, Tom Dudek is leading the board with the 121.711 in that BRE paint scheme. Somebody spun out there. It was that all-white car. That was Jean Vivian in the number 10 all-white Simpit and iRacing sponsored Mazda MX-5. Spinning coming out of turn 3. Brandon Waters, who is one of the faster guys in our practice session, wide, almost, if you get into that grass right there, and I wish you could see what I was seeing, Josh, and I should probably always tell you who I'm looking at.
Okay.
But he's coming off that final section of the infield section where there's a little bit of grass, as you mentioned, and that fence. And if you go wide, There's no steering back onto the track, and you go right in that fence, and it is game
Yeah,
over.
that fence is brutal. This actually infield, even though it's not as good as, let's say, the Daytona infield or the New Hampshire infield, it's still quite troublesome.
Whoa!
Look at that as we see Brandon getting a good draft and a run to the line. That's Tom right behind him. Brandon to the line with a non-recorded lap. Tom ran a 1:22.060. I don't think that changes anything on our leaderboard so far. It does not.
I thought the grass had spun out. All right, guys.
Grant Henderson is in third, and he's still dealing
I need to check something with the stream right now.
John Hill as they go out in tandem and continue theirs. That's Tom back there behind John Hill in the background. You can see a little bit. Why don't we go ahead and get a little in-car action right now and just go ahead and get a good sound of this MX-5 as it goes around Charlotte in the hands of Tom Dudek. You can see John Hill up ahead and Grant Henderson up ahead of him as he enters Charlotte turn 1. Steam King,
right,
is there
seem to be
anything
having some problems live streaming.
Your mic? I've done everything on my end I can.
My mic is like maxed out.
Can you stick it in your mouth? I didn't.
No, I could. I don't want to sound too hot, you know.
That you're in no jeopardy of being too hot. You might want to do anything you can to get more, but I hear you okay. But any more would help everybody else out just a little bit.
Yeah,
and we see Tom. Say that again.
My Discord input volume is at 90%.
He's pretty loud in Discord.
Is that better?
Really? Okay. Okay. We're hearing some of the we have some of the guys in our room listening to our live stream, and if they chat, they're going to be heard. We're also going to hear the official in-game chat.
Okay. My stream seems to be
Tom was
acting
a
out of weird.
1:22.676 last time by. No improvement. Jean Vivian
My stream
has
seems to
moved
be
into
acting
second
really
place
weird.
with the 1:21.987.
It's not good for us right now, but
put it into the wall.
Oh, that's good.
What can I do?
We can get a little replay of that. Turn 1. What do you know?
To look at what we have right now.
Grass,
so let's get ready to go.
Snap oversteer.
Let me put this back in full screen.
Tough break for Jean Vivian just after he posted number 2 on the board.
Yep.
I think we might need a little more sound from the game audio.
Fastest lap time qualifying, women 21.711.
Billy Strange is out on track now, and he's
Ooh, that was close.
Running a 1:20.
Coming on the back onto the track.
All right, the mess reasonable volume on the
Billy Strange at this point is posted
iRacing
1:22.498, sitting in 5th place.
I think iRacing volume is a little low. The game audio.
Out Billy Strange's channel at Billy Strange.
Let's drop it up to about 25%.
And
so you guys
of
will
other
hopefully hear the engine.
streamers that we have here in the group.
Whoa!
Sean Seabrand of Pro Sim TNT is streaming from his channel as well, and you can find him if you look up Pro Sim on YouTube. And there he is, getting very loose, and that's going to be the paint job of the day. That's the nicest paint job I've seen yet in our series so far. John Hill might run a second for the Ferrari, but is that just sacrilege to put a Ferrari paint scheme on a Mazda?
It's kind of like you're driving from Mercedes, but you put a BMW paint job on there. It kind of makes you think a little, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. That's John Hill. So at this point, we are 7 minutes 54 seconds into our 20-minute qualifying session. Plenty of time for these guys to post better laps, and then we'll get right down to business with our 20-lap race, and then we're going to take a brief intermission. We'll be off the air, and we'll be coming back on the air, and I'll put a notice up as quick as I can. About 20-30 minutes, maybe I can figure out our on-air time.
Yeah, so many different things happening in the back of the
make
back
sure
here.
I do that before we shut things down, but we will take a brief intermission, reset everything, wait for nightfall in about...
All right. I read a little bit on the car.
Race, so things should happen
so you guys should be able to hear the car a little bit.
Along, and it should make for very exciting.
Okay, let's actually try to get a little qualification time in here.
So John Hill currently running in 7th position with the 1:22.528. Grant Henderson still behind him, and I believe that was Brandon Waters coming to the inside.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh,
the bumblebee.
no, that wasn't. That was
okay,
not
let's try and get a little
somebody else in a green
decent
car.
lap win here.
Oh, the bumper
Here we
just
go.
spun
That's
out.
Grant Henderson coming into turn 2. Right behind John. The Mountain Dew. Is that Doug Hawley, I believe, in the Mountain Dew, if I'm not mistaken. Just tiny bit of contact, and around they both go.
Yeah, Doug Hawley is in the Mountain
Okay,
Dew.
guys, you gotta excuse me a little bit here.
Right.
This is the first time I've been doing something. I've tried something like this.
Time-wise, and you are.
So as you can see, I'm live streaming.
Race thing.
Well,
I have a multiple software running in the background, so you can hear the commentary from Sean Cole
I'm like, what's causing
and Stream King.
So no real changes up front. We're still looking at 121.
And of course myself.
For Tom Dudek, 121.987 for Jean Vivian, 122.038.
Let's hope this works out okay.
122.172 for Brandon.
It's a little tricky managing all the different input sources.
One in 5th place, as we still have about 10 minutes left in our qualifying run. What livery is Tom Jones? Let's check in with Tom Jones. Where is Tom Jones?
I don't see him on the board here.
We are still waiting on Tom Jones. He's in traffic trying to get home.
Yeah. Like, beep, beep, get away. I got practice to get to. No, qualifying, actually. No, qualifying road is kind of like practicing on the road. Similar in some ways.
And let's see here. What's going on? Let's check back in with Tom Dudek on pit lane. Looking in with our leaders. Here's Jean Vivian. He's out there. Let's change camera angle, see if we can get a little more perspective on the action.
Grant Henderson got a little bit of understeer, went back onto that grass. No damage.
Oh, I know, Tom, I'm sorry. Tom's here, everybody. Tom is Tom Monpass.
He's on the
everybody with their million names, and I have them all in front of me all at one time. Hold on one second. Where is Tom?
All right, let's try and do a better time than 20.
I think it's below William Martinez, above Jorge Anzaldo.
There's Tom. Tom's out on track. Here we go, guys. Tom Jones in the house, everyone.
Tom Cow, move.
Tom was concerned he wasn't going to make it for the race. He was stuck in traffic, but he has made it, and enough time to at least get a little bit of warm-up action for him.
All right, guys, we did better than 20. We are at 12 now.
LIKE the first track for next season. I'd have to go double check.
Oh, I'm off.
Was it Spa?
Oh, that was crazy.
Remember. Don't quote me on that.
I think it was memory.
Hey, you didn't have to do that.
If I can find out.
I would have waited, Grant.
Say again, Doug?
I was wondering if that was Del Buccio in front of me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's me.
That wasn't Doug.
Was it Tom?
I couldn't tell. My thing wasn't in the right position for me to see what's going on here.
Gotcha.
Keeping track of so many things here all at once, you guys.
Really strange on pit road.
Yeah, Spa is the first one, Dennis said. Thank you. Sorry,
all right, guys.
And here comes
Tom. We're trying a lot of new things with this live stream today. As you can see, this is my very first live stream where I could show you guys triple screens.
That's his out lap
from this angle, using the GoPro.
Nope, 124, 122.
So I'm hoping that it's okay, and you guys aren't getting stuttering.
Very big delay on Tom in particular.
Yeah, I think it's got to do with some kind of connectivity.
Yeah, we'll see. Whoa,
that was so close to that wall.
13 minutes on of our 20-minute qualifying session. Still out in front, Tom Dudek sitting on pit lane, just taking it easy for a while.
This is feeling so different to
our out there still hard charging.
Running on Assetto Corsa in the DTM series.
Behind Brad Waters, so that's third place in qualifying, leading the way for Jean Vivian. Is he close enough to get a draft, do you think? Yes, he is. This should be a pretty good lap if the rest of it was good. That's about the timing you're going to want to get as Jean comes to the line. 1:21.930.
Ooh, he is close.
That is his best lap, but not good enough. And we saw Brandon there just about scrape the wall. Let's get a little replay in car with Brandon coming through turn one. You sure did call it there, Josh. Turn one is a
you won't find me talking
spot.
too much in this live stream due to the fact that Sean Cole and Stream King
somebody's gonna get collected.
Is doing the commentary.
Got the grass and let him slide and dink just enough.
So I'll be talking very little.
That kind of contact, that's going to be real hard to drive at peak performance come race time.
Yeah, it's a good amount of spinners on the infield. It's not the overbid that's getting him trouble. I believe it's that infield bid. But thank goodness iRacing is now rescanned the SHARE infield area.
Checking in, but John Hill sitting in 5th place in that Ferrari Mazda. Is that a
Ferrari Mazda
chassis with a Ferrari motor? There he is coming outside of Tom. Tom's still getting up to speed. That's tough showing up late. I know how that feels. Everybody else out there been practicing, getting warmed up, and you come in and you have no time to get things done. So we do have 18 lap times posted. 2 drivers have not posted lap times. So we're at about 20 drivers for our first race, which is awesome. I thought we'd be looking at about 15 drivers. So you guys have exceeded my expectations even once again.
That's always good.
The beard is coming. The beard's coming along. It's a little patchy still.
Grant Henderson is now second on the board with a 121.852.
DD
close
is
behind Dudek.
Out there in that Bumblebee, we're gonna call that Bumblebee.
Okay, I'm not sure if you guys were hearing the commentary all the time from Sean Cole.
It just might.
But if you weren't, I'm sorry, because I just noticed something was muted, and I believe that was his channel.
Severiano Espinosa out there running.
So if you weren't hearing him before, you should be hearing him now.
So far.
So just in case,
William Martinez El Bucho. Sorry to yell at you guys.
You'll be hearing Sean Cole and Stream King, better known as Joshua, on commentary.
15th overall so far.
Now this is our first of 2 Patreon races. This is the road course, and our next race will be actually on the oval.
So we confirm that's Williams. I'm not wrong, right? That's Williams in that old
NASCAR style.
And an Elf Barclay car.
Must be, but I'm not that very knowledgeable in William paint jobs.
He must be buddies with John Hill, because John Hill likes those paint jobs that come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Billy Strange sitting on pit lane with a 122.543, sitting in 7th currently. John Vivian sitting in 3rd as he got bumped by Grant Henderson with that 123.303. Willie Lemonin with the 123.388, 14th overall. Tom Dudek, there is our, right now, Tom's sitting on the pole, ready to go. I cannot change the timing. Once the wheels have been set in motion, they are in motion. There's no stopping the momentum of this series. Thank you, Williams. F186 says Optimus. Thank you very much. So, no, I apologize, Tom. Tom, how's Tom doing? I don't even see him on my board still.
He's
there he is.
So far in 9th place
Up to
behind Billy Strange.
The 122.647. So Tom looks like he's doing just fine. Sorry,
he's doing just dandy.
I don't know, Willie, how much fuel for the race. I did some testing, but I didn't think about outcome.
Well, I hope you have enough fuel.
At the clock, we are at 18:16 of a 20-minute qualifying session. Drivers are getting their last chances in to outdo Tom Dudek with that incredible 121.711. I can say without a draft, I don't think you're going to be able to do better than that.
Yeah,
because Waters comes to the line, 22.073. That's a good lap, but no better than what he'd already done.
Yeah, the monsters themselves, even though they got like 250 horsepower, 200 some odd horsepower, something like that, they're only going to edge out top speed wise like 130 miles an hour. So drafting isn't really going to help them a whole lot. They're not as aerodynamic as the cup cars or the trucks or what have you.
And you see Doug Hawley right now using that draft off John Hill. I just wonder if they didn't go too high up onto the banking.
All right, guys, I think we're gonna stop right here.
Speed, look at Grant Henderson and Bumblebee.
We pull off to the side because I don't think I'll be able to do any better than that without a draft. Let's hit it back on the
really good in that John George Hill, Doug Hawley, Grant Henderson. They're running really good in that infield area.
Absolutely.
We were at half.
Oh, Grant Henderson.
Okay, I'm seeing some stuff that's kind of worrying me. I noticed my stream is not green, it's red. So I'm guessing you guys probably getting some buffering, which will be sad.
We're looking at last laps on track. Severiano's still out there. Mike Wellman, Brandon Powell, Jesse Conroy, Lee Helberg, Joa Antonio, Tom Montpas, and Jones. Tom Jones coming to the line.
All these fouls,
23.969. No better for him. Here comes Joa Antonio to the line.
The quality of my live stream doesn't seem to be very good as far as I see. I hope you're not getting too much of stuttering
or Jesse Conroy.
Anything like that.
Conroy coming to the line.
My CPU is less than 10%, so
no better. And
still have some testing to do.
Out and we are done with qualifying. So
alright, well, we're still streaming, so
10 in
let's see how it goes.
Leaderboard, and we have Tom Dudek, who's sitting on the pole with that 121.711, about a
by the way, I'm looking at my laptop.
Henderson with the 121.85.
Just in case you're wondering. Alright, guys, the race is going to start now.
Third with 121.930. Those are our three drivers.
I hope the stream is strong enough for you guys to see.
Starting it out at 122.03.
I know it's not perfect, judging from what I'm seeing, but
Jesse Conroy.
Let's hope it's workable or doable.
Hill, Brandon Powell, Billy Strange, Doug Hawley, Tom Montpaz, a.k.a. Tom Jones, everybody. Leif Helberg in 11th, Joa Antonio in 12th.
Okay, guys, as I said, I won't be doing much talking.
William Martinez,
because,
El
as you see,
Pucho,
Sean Cole is already doing commentary.
Mike Wellman, Severiano Espinoza. And then, if they get on the grid, we'll have Robert Winsler and Amir Assad, who didn't post laps, but are on the server.
Yeah, Robert and Amir posted practice lap times, but they haven't posted qualifying lap times. So, we'll have to see.
Okay, guys.
So we're just waiting for them to sweep off the track a little bit, clean things up, let the drivers get cooled down, get a drink. I'm going to do the same thing. Yep. And we're going to be down for 20 laps of racing. No cautions on this race.
See how fast that car is?
It's been so long since I did a race on iRacing.
Your fuel's fixed, isn't it?
Feels strange. Alright, guys, we're going to grid now.
2 minutes to grid up. There's Tom sitting in his car ready to go.
Let's go. We're starting in 13th position. 1-3.
Good luck, everybody. Have a fun race.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
All right, let's have some fun.
I just want to thank you all. Thank you for being patron members, teammates. Thank you for everything. You guys are always there hanging out, giving me great ideas, suggestions, helping me out with tests. I appreciate everything you guys do and everything you bring to the show. So it'll be my pleasure to call your race. Have fun. Be safe. Race hard.
We are getting some really low
gentlemanly, but race hard.
Frames. And my live stream does not look very strong. First time I've ever seen this. OBS
your race. You can do whatever you want, buddy.
We're still going.
Robert Winslow is in the grid. Not Amir Assad.
Whatever happens here, I will learn from it, and we will try to do better for the next race.
Dudek will be taking them out. Standing start, just waiting on things. I can't see the lights at this point. 39 seconds left till we go.
This is what happens when you're testing new software.
Grant Henderson on his
by the way, let me take off
outside,
my speaker system so we won't get any echo.
Third.
Amir's internet went out. Not gonna make it.
Oh, too bad, Amir. Oh man. Maybe things will get up and running.
Let me put my phone on silent.
15 seconds till the beginning of our very first patron race. I'm very excited. Thank you all once again. Thank you for being here watching. Thank you for racing. Thank you, Josh, for being here by my side. Let's go racing.
Oh, yeah. Let's go green.
I hear the revs.
All right, here we go.
Somebody missed the start. I missed the start. Ready. Here they go. Here they go.
Go, go, go.
Oh, Tom missed the start. Grant gets the great jump on the outside. Easily goes through to the lead. Looks like Jean's even going to take a look, but he's not.
Right. Oh, we got a wreck.
Hit someone already. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
We got a wreck?
Yeah, we got a hit in the back.
All right, well, they seem to have spaced out at the front. Let's see if we can check in back towards the rear of the field.
Sorry, guys, that was all my fault.
Doug Hawley. Let's see what Doug Hawley did wrong.
Whoa.
Let's see if we can get those places back.
So coming across the line at the start as they gear up for turn one at the back of the grid. Doug through the middle. Was that Billy Strange? I think that's Billy Strange. He got into the side.
Yeah, he's on pit road.
Went off spinning. So Billy's car's already punched in on the side. That's a real mess. And let's get caught back up with what's going on.
All right, let's try and get that draft here. That was unfortunate. Sorry about that, love. Tap leaf.
Followed by Tom. You can see a little bit of a gap back to third place, Jean Vivian. And you can see Tom's right in that range where he's going to get a good draft. He can actually take it easy and just kind of work off of Grant, or he can use some of that to go for a move at some point. Once he gets out into that air, though, that draft cease and any momentum he had does go away. So there they come through turn one, first time by.
Now 0.7.
Lap 2 is now underway, and these guys are looking like they're going to have a battle
just hit
all
each and
day
every
long.
apex. P12.
All right.
Let's go back through the grid just a little bit.
The guy ahead of us is Antonio.
Sean Vivian
is
in
now
third in that all white. Brandon Waters in fourth in that green and white. Jesse Conroy running in fifth right behind
These guys
them.
are hitting bricks so hard.
John Hill sitting in sixth
It's
place,
a trade
just
me off a little
watching
bit.
this battle right ahead of him. And then we got Doug Hawley in seventh, Brandon Powell in eighth, Tom Jones, everybody running in ninth. He's moved up one spot from the beginning. And you can see a little bit of damage on the back there of Leif Helberg. Not sure where he picked that up as he runs in 10th
He picked that up from Sean Seabraham.
Joa Antonio right behind him. We'll see if Joa can get a run on him using that draft coming off of turns 1, 2, I'm sorry. Losing my mind a little bit. He goes to the inside. I see Sean Seabraham in that very beautiful blue on blue on blue on blue car.
You got a battle for fourth and fifth.
Yeah, that's a letter blue.
And Jesse Conroy.
Looking up with Brandon Waters
and
just
done it on 22.1.
And that's Jean Vivian just ahead of them. So that's third, fourth, and fifth place that we're looking at. And that gray car of Jesse Conroy is actually the one in
Leaf
fifth.
went so close to that wall.
Distance. That blue and yellow car is our leader. And looking back to sixth place with John Hill, or even all the way back to seventh with Doug, they are all in striking distance still.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting battle between all these cars. See who's going to make the right move and who's going to get the fence.
And it's going to happen fast. You know, we're already on lap 3. These cars are going to be able to go the distance, no problem, tires and fuel. So this is just a sprint race that, with no trouble, can be a very quick race.
All right, let's try and get
it's a lot of corners
draft
and a lot
behind
of
Leaf.
treacherous moments between the start and the finish.
We need to get that draft to pass him.
Yeah, it's 12 turns, and the track temperature is 108 degrees Fahrenheit. So
Come on, Mayata.
A little slick out there, I'm thinking.
Let's go, Mazda.
So we look up front with our leader, Grant Henderson, as he comes to the line to complete lap 3. And just to give you a perspective, qualifying versus race, he just ran a 22.445.
Fastest lap for Waters.
He slides a little wide, almost hits the wall, but not a bad line. I mean, you can get close as long as you didn't hit it. You're fine. You're using all the track.
That lap was out.
Trying to take him on the inside.
More conservative line and not really losing a
I didn't
lot
have the
of time
momentum that I wanted.
Yeah, John Vivian is actually holding third place really well in front of Brandon Waters. So I'm seeing a nice train of cars in that infield section.
And that gap that was between second and third really hasn't changed much from the start. That was sort of the way they came off of the start of the race. And, ooh, we're seeing a move to the inside, though.
Yeah, Brandon Waters wants to get that third place, but John Vivian is like, nah, you stay behind me, pal.
Yes, he is. And we can see Jesse Conroy. So now they're kind of going 2 by 2 by 2. We got the pair of Grant and Tom in 1 and 2. We got Jesse and Brandon in 3 and 4.
I see some drafting going on between John and Brandon. Third and fourth place.
Hold that low line real well. He's actually in a really good spot to prevent any kind of a move sitting just like that. It prevents that low line, not enough room, and on the high line, you're going to just be too slow to carry the speed. And we see Brandon look to the outside. And, wow, Jesse closes all the way up behind Tom there in second place. And things are tightening up as the laps tick by.
Okay, Sean, you're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 0.5.
See, we still have the same running order that we were looking at before. We got Grant Henderson, Tom Dudek, Jesse, Jean, Brandon, Jesse, John Hill, and Doug running in that order. John Hill looking to the inside of Jesse Conroy back there, and I don't think he was able to make that stick. That did allow Doug Hawley to close up right behind John Hill. Let's go in car. Doug Hawley.
Doug Hawley drafting John G. Hill for the 6th and 7th place. Yeah, bump drafting. So I guess they're going to make a move to the outside relatively soon.
That could get dicey. A little contact there with the swerving back and forth, and both these guys could end up, you never know where. And you can see it's just a tiny gap. I mean, I see Grant Henderson just right there in that Bumblebee black and yellow Mazda up front. Everyone through turn 1. You can see how tight it is coming off that really high speed oval into the Roval or the infield section.
There'll be chances
Doug
here.
goes a
Let's
little
make sure we can
wide
take
there.
a P12. You've just done a 22.4. That's your fastest lap.
Yeah, quite the train there, nose to tail. The biggest gap, and it's just barely there right now, seems to be between Grant leading the way and Tom just a click back of him. And then it's car, tiny gap, car, tiny gap, car.
That's a good way to put it.
Sean Cole. car, tiny gap, car, tiny gap, car.
All right, let's try and get a run on Leaf here.
Yeah, there you go, Doug. So looking back forward with Grant Henderson leading the way right
Still
now.
there.
122.790.
The gap behind's increased to 9.1.
Last time by lap 6.
Keep it steady.
This will be the completion of lap 6. I'm sorry, that was
Still
lap 5
there.
122.790. Tom, right? Oh, a little love tap maybe even from
Clear
Tom.
left.
It looks that way as Grant goes well off the course, doesn't hit the wall, and he's all the way back
Waters
to
is leading the race.
8th position behind Doug, who's got a little damage on the right side of that Mountain Dew Miata, I can see. So Tom Dudek with a little love tap moves into the front.
I try my best not to hit him. So I want to stay close, but
Doug following that,
I don't want to touch him.
You can see that damage on the front. That tap was a little harder to tap, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what it was, these guys are very competitive out here.
Let's go back and see what happened there. I'm on the replay, so you won't see, Josh. All right, here we are. We see a little tap by Tom.
Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate.
There's your pass.
And there's one car underneath.
All right, let's try it again.
Jesse to his outside.
This time what I need to do is try and get on the inside.
Way too far inside.
But I believe he was going to cover the inside again.
He falls all the way back. So now, after all of that, Brandon Waters is up front. Jesse Conroy in second. Tom, with that little bit of damage, is now sitting in third.
Stop swaying so much.
And John Vivian in fourth. John Hill in fifth. Grant Henderson now back underway again in pursuit of these guys in
okay, Sean,
fifth.
keep piling on the pressure.
His car
He'll
does
make a
look
mistake.
okay. I'm sure there's a little dent on the
Sector
rear
1
end.
is 1.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the
Oh.
pace.
Yeah,
Sector
look
3
at that, a
times
little bit
okay.
of damage.
Yellow
That
flag,
shouldn't hurt
watch
him
out.
too bad. I'd rather have that than that front end nose damage that Tom has.
Yeah, getting damage on the front is gonna hurt your drafting ability.
And it's very possible that we have front end damage
on track from these guys
after hitting leaf.
From the blimp view, and that blimp view compliments of Chris Sheldon.
Whoa.
You asked for it. You asked for it. You got it, buddy.
Go ahead,
anyway,
go
you
ahead.
can see there as Brandon leads into turn 1.
I was in a lot of trouble there
Jesse
as well.
might have scraped the wall a little bit there, huh?
Yep, he really did.
And I see Tom is now up on him, and Brandon Waters is now getting the biggest lead that we've seen yet in this race. There's Jesse off the track. We're now looking at 2 wide there. John Vivian moving up into third place.
Right
Tom
side.
to the inside of him, and a little contact there.
Hold your line. Clear to the right.
And we're going to have to get close up and get replay with that moment. Tom.
I think we should be okay here. But we're on the inside and we have a shorter line. Don't go in there, Leaf. You're gonna die.
They're coming out of that final right-hander, little sideways, little bump to straighten him off, and Tom goes on by, but John Vivian losing the position there. And now you can see he's got a whole bunch of John Hill to deal with. As they go onto the banking and a little more contact there. It's starting to get rough out there, guys. As we catch up live with the action, there's John Hill running in 5th place. And let's move in with Brandon Waters. Oh! What happened to Brandon Waters?
I died.
Sorry to hear that.
But now he's on pit road.
Brandon Waters leading the race on lap 8.
And he's on pit road.
Making that final right
Okay,
on
guys,
the
we're up to 8 now.
section. Down the little dip. Left, setting up, coming on to the back stretch.
The gap
He
behind
gets
is
a
now
little
1.0
sideways,
seconds.
snap, and oh, into the fence, and that car is done. Brandon is out of the race. One of our top picks to win the event today, out of the race.
Yes. And Billy Strange is out of the race too.
At this point, we're looking at Jesse Conroy now running in 2nd
Okay,
place.
Sean, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up.
John Vivian in 3rd. Grant Henderson's moved his way back into 4th. With Tom Dudek back in the front, but he's got that front end damage. That's not going to help him on that long banking all the way around this track. And the power of the draft with Jesse Conroy right behind. Oh, who? Nope, that was just my eyes. He's fine. Everything's fine.
And yeah, that banking is 24 degrees in the turns. Normally these Mazda vehicles go at a banking that's like less than 6 degrees. So it's a little bit different for those cars.
You can see what kind of gap, and if it closes up between those
Okay, let's
two.
try and
on the guy in front.
get up to
They're
Thomas.
run by Jesse.
0.9.
Closing, moves to the outside before the banking of the corner. Now they're running almost the same speed. You see how that arrow just completely went away, and now it's a dead heat. Yeah, it's really too bad, Billy Strange, who put a lot of prep into this, and
I guess
unfortunate
smack down
outcome
turn 1.
in turn 1. See Jesse a little conservative on braking, Grant not knowing where to go. Side by side through 1. Jesse a nose ahead, but coming off of this corner, he's got the line, and he now
Okay, Sean,
secures
you're halfway
1st
home.
place.
Got plenty of fuel. That
Tom
was
Dudek in 2nd.
122.2.
Right side.
Good lap. That's your quickest today.
Clear right.
Move up the day.
I'm sorry, Jean Vivian in
For me.
3rd. Grant Henderson in 4th, sitting just right behind him, closing up a little bit. Look at
Move
this, our
up the
top
day for me
5
right there.
still running all together.
That's really
So
amazing.
despite all the mayhem, And you know, in all fairness, oh,
smack, big one,
Yellow
taking the
flag.
fence.
that was Jean Vivian.
Yep. Oh, and that's back on pit road. I was not expecting that at all.
What happened there? So coming off that final section, we're seeing a lot of problems with this final section. You want to get on the gas and get a good run.
Yeah,
he gets a little into that wide. That's exactly what I was talking about before in qualifying.
He clipped the fence. He clipped the fence. Car spun out and it hit the wall.
And it just severed that car. So let's see here. Came back up with things. There's Grant Henderson. Oh, Tom looks like he's back to third position. Going into turn one.
Ooh,
Grant sideways.
Oh, he's drifting.
Snap.
Oh, he almost had it. He almost had the drift.
With the wall, just a tiny bit of
Yellow
rear
flag.
contact.
Caution. Right side.
As he made a strong,
Hold your
strong
line.
move
Clear the right.
to get in there.
Let's put this hard work to good use. P6, sector 1 is
And we hear an
0.3
apology
off the
from Grant.
pace.
He was going big. Go big or go home, I guess. At this point, we're looking at...
Anderson is dragging, he's dragging a cone along with him. That's hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Grant is?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I see. Oh, it just disappeared. It was under the right rear.
That's hilarious. How did that happen?
Pretty funny.
Rip cone.
All right, let's see here. We had a good battle going up front still.
Grant the
Just
cone killer.
now we're dealing a few less guys than we had before, but we still have a battle up front. Jesse Conroy with a slight lead.
I hope that code is not stuck to my car.
And that's John
So we're going to be
Hill in
really
third
slow with
place,
it.
just a little bit further back.
Let's try and get that draft from Joe.
Not enough for Tom to get a draft.
The gap to
Is that-
Antonio.
Oh, there
Ahead
you
is
can
now
see him starting to close the
0.6.
gap. There it is. There it is. That draft effect now, even with that hurt car. John Hill not quite getting the advantage, but maybe next time around he will. And that completes. We are now on our 13th lap of 20. All
John
three of them
Hill
get
might-
through. What's that?
John Hill might win it.
That last lap was at
Consistency
22.8. Sector 1 is
Sort of the way John
0.7
Hill
off the
gets it
pace.
done. John Hill will hit the same lap time, lap after lap after lap, watch other people go faster, slower, and what do you know, at the end of the day, he gets a lot of people. And there he is sitting in third place, just a little back. And the way things have seen, Tom's going to bring the battle at some point is what I anticipate and expect. Tom's been our guy of the day, definitely with the aggression and keeping the race exciting, that's for sure from my perspective. And unfortunately, you can see that damage on the nose, which is probably just not helping him. And with fewer cars, I don't think there's quite as much air to get behind and chase.
Yeah, when you get like damage on the nose, it kind of impairs the visibility a little bit. So, but you then can't see the back bumper of the vehicle so when we get close to that vehicle.
And there we are, Tom once again closing up. Jesse is going pretty well, running a good line, keeping a good lap time going.
your
Tom's
left.
looking to the outside. Can he get enough momentum?
Still there.
I do see a
Clear
little
left.
damage on the front of Jesse's car, so nobody out here is perfectly clean at this point. Nice line by Jesse. And you can see he gets through nice. That actually puts John
Good.
Hill
Stay
closer
close.
to
Keep the
Tom
pressure
at
on.
this point than to Jesse, than Tom is to Jesse.
Yeah, John Hill running third now in the podium.
Why don't we go ahead and go in car with John Hill sitting in third place. Hey Jack, how you doing, buddy?
Whoa. That was crazy. It's a little slippery out here.
John just taking that solid line, not over pushing, not overextending, and what do you know, he's sitting right there still.
That's a big shame, and it's gotta be frustrating on his end too.
Yeah, but I think that draft effect is going to start as the gap between him and Jesse closes.
The gap behind is now 0.5.
And we see that Tom is starting to close up on Jesse, and this time John Hill is in range to be the recipient of that draft. Brandon expressing he can't believe that he crashed out of the lead. Yeah, it's a rough break there, Brandon. Rough break for a handful of our guys here today so far.
Yeah, we win some.
123.008 last time by for John Hill, and our top
Still
three
there.
are just running
All
this
right, Sean,
close
don't
together.
let this guy distract you.
Clear on the left.
Yeah, it's
That
like
was
some guys get good days,
123.1.
some guys get bad days.
Your lap times are
You
pretty
got greedy,
consistent.
Brandon. You got greedy.
Oh,
Oh, some of the guys giving Brandon a hard time. Some of the guys
I
showing
think there's
Brandon
fast
some
repair
sympathy.
on.
Oh, gotta love the group. You gotta
On your
love the
right.
guys.
go, Joe.
And I'm sure today there'll
Still
be a few
there.
ruffled feathers, but
Ah.
overall we
Right,
get
you're
along pretty
clear.
well. Everybody, I think, means well for the most part. But again,
Right
racing
side.
leads to some confrontation
Hold your
from time
line.
to time, and we've had some rough ones out there today.
Hold your line. Clear right. Car right.
So still about
Still
that
there.
same gap we've seen for a handful
Hold
of
your
laps.
line.
This is lap
Ooh, that's crazy
15.
driving right now.
Still there.
That's
Still
only 12
there.
cars on the lead lap.
Crazy
steady.
driving.
They were fourth, so Grant
For
Henderson
sure.
Still
fell back.
there.
That incident at turn 1
Still there.
fallen quite a bit a ways
Come on,
back
pull me,
from
Joe,
the
pull me.
at this point.
He's right
Still
at my
there.
door.
Noah Antonio running in
Clear
5th
right.
place, not far. That Sean Seabrand, Pro Sim, TNT, closing in behind him. Tom Monpass, Tom Jones, sitting in 7th place.
Okay, Sean,
Keith
you're reeling
Hilbert in
Antonio
8th,
in
so
the
they're all
gaps
fairly
now.
close. And we see
0.2.
Sean
Clear
Seabrand on
left.
the
Left
outside.
side.
B6.
Goes a little
That lap was
wide,
at
and what do you
125.5.
know, Tom Jones comes
Clear
to
to
the
the
inside
left.
of him and gets by in that long turn 1, 2. I guess that's turn 2 there, maybe turn 3.
I believe so.
Tom
Yeah.
almost gets a little bit of that fender of Joa up ahead of him.
Whoa, dude.
Yep. And oh, there goes Sean right
Oh,
there,
Sean
getting a little
along the
loose.
track. Very loose, yes.
Yeah.
That's gonna heartbeat. And looking back at our leaders, and we see still about that same
Really
gap
make my
between
heart
the
beat.
three cars as they click off their final laps. As this one is getting down to
Oh,
the
he's
wire. We're
going, he's
getting
going, he's
down,
going, he's
very
Oh,
going.
there
close
goes
to the end.
Tom Jones. Tom on pass. He got loose there.
Whoa,
right.
almost at him.
Oh, got a little
Clear
bump.
right.
An inch in the
That
inside
was
turn
so
one.
close.
All right, let's get a little
Jeez.
look at what went on there. Thank you very much, John.
That must nearly give me a heart attack.
So coming off that final infield
Credit to him
section,
for
we see
saving
so
that car
much trouble here today.
from spinning
Little
out.
bit of oversteer, trying to save it, crossed up,
I'm staying on the inside.
pulls it together, and just not.
He has a
making it
draft, but
clear
I'm
where
staying
to
on the
go, and
inside.
it might have been a little bit of
Shorter line.
contact between Sean Seabrand and Tom. Nothing too major though with what we've seen here today.
Car right.
Oops.
Keep it steady.
Yeah. Tom
Hold
Jones
your
and
line.
Seabrand so battling it out for
Push now, we
6
can
and
catch
7.
this guy.
Battle for the lead.
Keep it
Battle
steady.
for the lead.
Clear to the
Tom
right.
the outside
Keep
of
it neat and
Jesse
tidy.
going
We
to
still
turn
might get something
1.
out of this. 6th
Jesse
place.
takes a
You've
nice
just done
line
a
through there,
126.8.
and no real threat, and we're right back to where we started. 1, 2, 3. Jesse, Tom, John Hill.
Whoa.
Ah, Sean, come on, track limits.
So at this point, they are on lap 17 of 20 laps. Jesse's got a pretty, it's not so much the lead. He seems to have the line and the consistency right now that is looking pretty strong. Tom can get a run on him, and we see they're about to start dealing with a lapped car, which with just a handful
All right,
of
let's try and
laps here
keep
to
this
go, could really come into play.
6th position.
The guy really, the Hot Charger award really goes to Robert Winslow. He started 20th on the grid, and now he's in 10th in the race. So,
The gap behind is now 0.5.
Great job by Robert. Yeah,
Here
kinda
comes
taking
Thomas
advantage
closing
of,
in
a few people who've had
with
some
my draft.
problems and picking up those spots and moving up quite a few positions. Well done, Robert.
Jorge Anzaldo is the last car on the lead lap in 11th place.
All right, so things are tightening up at the front as we see Tom gets a little off track, gets a little loose, but didn't seem to lose much speed. He is flying. John Hill right behind him. Actually, he did lose a little bit of speed, and that opened up a tiny gap for Jesse as they go through that final infield section leading onto the back stretch, or it's really the front stretch, or turn 1, 2. John Hill right behind Tom at this point. Will it be enough to get a run on him, though?
Well, if you had more power, yes, but no, to really get more speed in these cars, there's only one word, and that's draft. Because these cars, they accelerate a bit on the slow side.
Looking to the outside this time, John Hill is high up onto the banking. Immediately hit that wind and lost his speed.
Okay.
And is he going to take another run on the outside? No.
Thomas is going to try to go high again.
For another lap for John
For sure.
Hill.
He has a good draft.
They are now on lap 19.
But I don't know if he'll be able to make it stick.
Next one.
If he does. Because I'm going to stay low.
Go
on the short side.
Joe Antonio seems to be pretty all alone in 5th place. Grant Henderson
side. Don't let this guy distract you.
Good in 4th.
Still there.
I believe that was a lap car.
6th place.
Clear right.
2 to go. You've just done
that would have been bad to slide into him.
Underway again. Yes, running 17th place. So looking back to our lead battle. Seems like right now the bigger battle is over 2nd place.
Right side.
And
oh, I gave that to him. I gave that to him.
Striking distance. It
Hold
seems
your
that
line.
Jesse has just enough a gap that I don't
Hold
know
your
if he's
line. Clear right.
At least not this time by.
Well, Jesse Conroy's really got a nice cushion, so he's got.
I basically gave that one back to him.
So
by making a mistake.
The eye on that red Ferrari Mazda of John Hill.
All right, let's try and get that draft and take him back again.
Tom. Woo! I don't know if he's going to be close enough. This is going to be white flag here for our leader as Jesse Conroy takes the white flag, completing his 19th lap, starting the final lap of the race.
Still there. Still there.
And you see that lap car just
Hold
ahead.
your line.
Ooh, who got into some
line.
Oop, I went to the pace car.
Clear left.
That's what I wanted to do. And he cleared out of the way, let all of them by, so we've got a race for first, but it's a pretty good gap. I don't know if Tom's going to be able to close that gap. John Hill definitely within striking distance.
One more lap to go. That was
oh, inside.
All right.
But
hold your line.
Inside.
Hold your line.
Finishing first.
Hold your line.
And oh, he did close up that gap. You're right.
Still
Here
there.
he is coming right
Clear
out of
right.
that final section. 1, 2, 3
right.
as they get ready to come on to
real battle in here now, guys. Even in the dirt.
Keep it steady. Clear right.
We have about a
right.
car distance
Clear to the
between
right.
Jesse and Tom. And it looks like John Hill slipped back just a hair.
Someone says not giving me an inch.
First and second.
Dudek outside. Is John Hill going to push behind anybody?
We are allowing least
They're
to reach the meet up to us.
A little bit of contact. Jesse gets the better on the low line. Tom's car looks like he got a little bit more damage. That's not going to help as he races
John
line.
Hill right behind
John Hill on
and
the inside.
and Dudek wins.
I can't wait to look back at this.
Dudek with that between John Hill. That's something you don't see a lot. John
I'm
Hill
trying 6 gear, but
it looks like John
it doesn't seem to work.
might have finished in second. I don't know. Did they both cross the line?
Now leading.
There could be some fisticuffs in the pit later tonight. I don't know. I see Grant Henderson in 4th.
Yellow flag.
Joe Antonio in
We're
5th.
done.
It's so close I can't even get to the guys crossing the line. Another one at the line between Tom Monpass and Sean Seabrand.
Yeah, John going to actually finish the line with his car pointing towards the infield, and Jesse Conroy finished with his car pointing towards the track.
But
here's that final run by John Hill, looking for anywhere, looking to the inside. Jesse comes down, and they do cross the line.
Great.
Wow, what
nice
a
race, guys.
What
nice
went
race.
on there between
good job, guys. Good job.
Tom Monpass and Sean Seabrand coming to the line, fighting for 6th.
I'll take a win, but man,
guys doing donuts in the infield on the grass and all that.
Interesting, challenging.
And it looks like it was after the line. Oh, I see Tom just getting aggression out on poor Jesse sitting there on the side.
Into you right at the finish line.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of fisticuffs, I imagine.
So our final results for race 1: Tom Dudek winning the race, John Hill sliding across the line in 2nd, Jesse Conroy sliding across the line in 3rd, Grant Henderson in 4th, Joa and
well, guys,
in 5th. Tom Monposh.
That's race one.
Sixth. Sean Seabrand, Pro Sim TNT in 7th. Leaf Helberg in 8th.
Jesse?
William Martinez El Bucho in 9th. Robert
We didn't do too bad.
all the way up into 10th from a 20th position starting
nice
spot.
racing
Great
with you,
job
Jesse.
by him.
I
George
almost got you,
Unzaldo,
but,
Doug
man,
Hawley,
you're tough to
Severiano
pass.
Espinoza, Willie Lemonin, Brandon Powell, Brandon
All
Waters,
right.
Sean Vivian, Mike Wellman, Billy Strange.
A really good time.
So
Good race,
those
boys.
are our
Thank
final
you very
results
much.
for race
Glad
number
to be a
1.
part of this.
And yeah, if you think that was some
Great
unnecessary
race, guys.
contact here,
That
there,
was
and
really fun.
everywhere throughout that race, just wait till we get into the trucks.
I think
So
the exit right here
main
is going to
thing
be a little
is
intermission, then we get
we
back
have
in. I
nothing
think.
at stake, nothing on the line other than having fun. So hopefully
Okie dokie.
everybody's
I'm gonna
keeping
set
it
up a
in
different live stream.
perspective.
Yep. And
Now
what-
we are now sitting at 2:55 at the end of the
Okay.
first race.
To
The
my people.
practice room for our second race, the NASCAR
As you can still hear
2000
Sean Cole
at
in the
Charlotte
background.
Knight is ready to go. They can jump in
Probably
now.
2/3 of the time.
It's going to
I'd
be a
say,
75
but,
lap race
'cause I think
with
Jesse and I were
cautions.
both
That
damaged.
should hopefully control
I
things
don't
a little
think
bit.
you were.
That session
but
opened
yeah,
up 5 minutes
happened.
ago for a 30-minute practice, and then qualifying
Yeah, that was a great
should
race, man.
begin at 3:20. So we're going to go off the air for 15 minutes and come back on the
All
air
right, see you guys a little
10
later.
minutes prior to qualifying. That allow me and Josh to get a drink, go to the bathroom, let everybody out there cool down, get into their race truck nighttime atmosphere, and we'll be back for round 2.
Okay, guys, there we go. That was our official first live stream of our very first Patreon race. Now, it seems as though we're having some technical difficulties as far as buffering and stuff like that. It's the first time I noticed that. First time I've ever seen that happen, I should say. Now, what happened is we have a next race in 15 minutes. It will be an oval race. So, let me see if I could do no, this is a whole, everything here is new. When I say new to me. It's a whole different setup. So, I'm trying to see if I could give you guys a view of the live stream as though, well, one of my normal videos, which is where you see the triple screens and steering wheel and stuff. Thing is, I'm not sure what is the big issue here. I will double check OBS. I notice my stream health is not very good, so that sucks. But hopefully the audio mix was okay. I've never tried this before. This is new territory. Having well, my commentary, which is usual, game audio, plus my crew chief, plus now we have commentary from Sean Cole and Steam King, and that's a different track altogether. So there's a lot of mixing. It's a lot of different things going on in the background, and it's the very first time ever I've ever tried something like this to this extent. So I'm wondering if I should stream the other race, not with this camera, which will kind of suck, but I'm wondering if I should go back to the usual stream where I capture the monitor, that's the center monitor. Maybe I should just try that just for once, just to see if that is the issue by eliminating this particular camera. So give me 1 second. Let me shut this camera off. In fact, I shouldn't shut this camera off, not just yet. Let me pull up, let me see if I can pull up iRacing. If I could capture iRacing. I'm not sure if I can capture iRacing as yet. And that's the bad part. This is something I can't take a chance, like much of a chance with. Otherwise you guys might not actually see the stream, which will kind of suck. Let me see. iRacing. Alright guys. I have to, you don't have to, I mean I could understand if you guys want to leave. But I have to stay alive to test this. So it might be a little weird in the end here. I have to go back into iRacing just to see if it'll pop up. Let me see if I can give you guys a different feed. It wouldn't be triple screen, but At least you gotta see the race. Let me see. iRacing is about to back up. Okay, it's popping up on the screen. You guys should be seeing it anytime soon. But let me take off this this view and see if my streamer gets any health here. Okay, if this let's see if this light will go green. If it does go green, we'll work with this. Anyway, let me end the stream, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me do, I might have a little test stream in between, but I have to leave now. See you in the next one, which is an oval race. Okay, let's change this thumbnail.